Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. You get fairy dust, I get fairy dust, Amelie gets fairy dust. And here we go. We are going to talk all things advanced bitches bingo. And let's see. The first thing I want to say is I really like, action is everything, which is very devastating to freeze mode bitches. But action is everything. And this class can give you a chance to actually use the tool that we're talking about. So if you could print out the card, the bingo card, and have it in front of you, or if you don't have it in front of you, thank you, MJ showing us. You can just and I don't know if you might not have stickers, but I bet you have a pen and a piece of paper. So I want you to give yourself a star every time I just write a star or do a star with a line. As you thank you, Lily. As you listen, when you have an insight, you get a sticker. When something's hard to hear, you get a sticker. When you hear something, when I talk about maybe a dynamic that happened in this past week, you can think, oh yeah, I totally didn't get hooked by that, so I get a sticker, I get a star. So you can, but I want you to be actively doing that. And one of the things that I teach in my, the little Advanced Bitches School, Advanced Bitches membership thingy, is we expect somehow, which is crazy to me that we expect this now that I'm on the other side, but we expect self-care to feel good to us. So as CPTSD kids, those of us with when I say CPTSD, if you're new, it's complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's complex. It's another way of saying childhood trauma. And so those of us that have that, sometimes we lose our train of thought. Anyway, sorry. I'm sure I'll remember it in a minute. So when you start filling out your bingo card, thank you, Tay. When you start filling out your bingo card, it's not going to be like, oh, I feel so great, I'm taking care of myself, this is the answer. It's not going to feel like that. It can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to acknowledging, which most of us are at the beginning of our work. You're not used to acknowledging your progress. You're not used to acknowledging your wins. The inner saboteur, which we all have. I also refer to that as our internalized trauma voice, is actually not interested in you playing bingo, is actually not interested in you acknowledging a win, is not actually, like, I'm going to talk about my imperfection practice a little bit later, and like, it's not interested in you being imperfect. So it's not going to feel incredible, especially at first, but I can tell you, if you play over time, because another way of saying playing over time is saying, I'm doing my advanced personal growth work, and over time things get magical and interesting, and you will be accomplishing things. And I say this from the evidence of my own life, the evidence of my clients' lives, and the evidence of advanced bitches who are in the membership and who follow me. That shit starts getting real good. Like it gets really, really good. So there's that. Okay, what else we got? Let's see. Okay, so let me plug a few things. So I have an Advanced Bitches membership. Right now it's just called video access, classes and video access. So if you see my website, it's up there. And what you get in, the standard thing you get is a CPTSD class, and a few, so it's like one class a month, and that class is like $25. And you get so I do sometimes I do more than one class. Like I just did a few more classes over the past month, so that was just bonus. But I'm about to make a premium and a regular. And so the regular, that doesn't sound great. I'll give it another name, but that will be $25 and the premium will be 50. But until I make the premium, everybody who has the founding membership will automatically be grandfathered in. So you will always pay $25 for that. So that might be incentive for you to enjoy, but it's not going to happen until sometime in February. So you have a little bit of time, and I'll definitely let you know beforehand. But and if somebody feels comfortable enough, so let me just talk about confidentiality. This is a free video for anybody to watch. I'm going to put it up on YouTube for everybody. So protect your anonymity. If you don't want to be in public, like go ahead and change your name on, if you end up talking, your Zoom black square will show up and it'll have your name on it. So go ahead and change your name or eliminate your name or whatever, just to have that black square if you end up talking to me. So just know, so that's, I want to make sure that you take care of yourself and that you know what's going on here. And so I see several of the people that already have memberships here. And so, maybe they will be willing to talk about their experience. So you just won't hear it from me, like my experience of it. Yeah, and members, like, please just chime in at any time when it sounds appropriate. Trust your gut. Okay, so stickers. Okay, so I made some stickers and they're actually now available on my website. So there's 2 sets there. This is a little fawn friend. This is Advanced Bitches Magic. You get fairy dust and a little magic wand. So if you want to, and they're big, these are big stickers though. And what I do with big stickers is I might put a sticker in the middle of 4. Hold on. I might put a sticker in the middle of like 4 squares, like this, like Mr. Fawn. So I would put him right here. And this is 4 things. And so this class is big enough for me to get just 4 squares on my bingo card. So that just already takes up, but sometimes it'll be like, I did 4 different things. Oh my God, somebody just bought my stickers. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, thank you. So sweet. So there's that. Then the other set has, there's a little logo, and then this says dissociating, be right back, first class life, freeze mode bitch on a little pillow, and then the fawn again on this one. And so, how these came to me is organically, somebody just drew them for me, just drew me some pictures of these. And then I said, hey, can I pay you for those and can make them into stickers? So that was really cool. And anyway, so that's, and we'll be making more and they'll be super cute. So, okay. And if you have any ideas for stickers that you want, please let me know, because I have there's some that aren't on the website yet that I'm about to set up, but it's like, there's a because trauma sticker. And then there's, Zombie. And then there's, fawn mode, freeze mode. So we'll have those 2 up there. So, but if there's any other, and I already have a few in my mind, and we're also working on a little t-shirt right now. Anyway, so that's super cute. So there's that. So you know that now. What else do I have? I promise I'll get to how to play in just a second. Oh, I'm going to get to it right now. Okay, here we go. So first I'm going to tell you the story of how, yes, we need fight mode. Thank you. Boxing clubs for fight mode bitches. Oh, if you have a question for me, let's see how many people are here. I think it's still small enough to where you can just unmute yourself and just say, I have a question about that. Like if you have a question about what I'm talking about, because sometimes I make the assumption that you might know things that you just haven't seen me cover yet. And so you want me to elucidate it a little bit more. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of how this came to be in the evolution of, hey, Tinkerbell, that's our mascot, of how this happened and its purpose in my life and how I got to share it with all of you. So the first one was when I was, years and years and years ago in trying to be in recovery and trying to learn these things, but also apply them in my life, I was having a great deal of difficulty staying conscious. I was, I'd learn like, oh, bait and switch is a thing. Okay. I learned that. Or I learn in triangling in therapy. Okay, great. And then I would go triangle, or then I would just get lost in it. And I'm like, I don't know how I ended up, in a relapse. I don't know how, I'm depressed again or whatever. And it's like, oh, I went totally unconscious. I forgot to do the work. And I would say I forgot, but also I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't capable enough yet to do it long term. Okay. So then I did a TikTok the other day. What's the word you say all the time? Okay. You'll hear me say it like 52 times here. So then my therapist had the idea. She's like, okay, because shit was going down in my family, and I had to go stay with them for a long time because help was needed, and I was a fawn. And so my therapist recommended that so she knew I was already studying psychology, that I do a field study. So in psychology and anthropology and sociology, a field study, when a experimenter does a field study trying to gather data, gather information, sometimes they just observe, but other times they actually enter into the community of whatever they're studying. They become a part of the community. And an example of that would be like somebody wanting to observe children and their play, and you could do that this through watching through a two-way mirror, one-way mirror, or you can actually go in the room and play a little bit and then just be making notes and stuff. So that's the field study. That is going into the environment. And in this instance, the environment is my family. and just, if I could just remember to do the field study and not get hooked, I wouldn't get hooked. When I say hooked, I mean, I'm having a great day. And then a dig happens, and then I'm totally having a miserable day. Or I totally want revenge on the person that gave me a dig, or I give them the silent treatment. So it's like fully losing myself the minute I get triggered. And so that's what I mean by being hooked. Like a fish is hooked. It's like, ooh, shiny object. And for us, when we have CPTSD, the shiny object is dysfunction. So we got to be careful and try not to get hooked. Okay. So paying attention, doing the field study, and then fast forward to one day I was, reading Oprah magazine, and the Martha Beck, the life coach, had written an article around Christmas time, what to do at Christmas time. And one of the things that she talked about was play dysfunctional family bingo. And I was like, oh my God, that's the field study. And so ever since then, that's how I did my field study. And I would just, bought some Amazon bingo stickers, and they had numbers on the front, and I would just turn the numbers around and I would write on the back what it was for. Like, oh, this person is already drunk by noon. I get a sticker for that. I get a sticker because I'm noticing it. And it's just it was just very helpful. And I, as you know, am a silly bitch. And if I can infuse humor into it, if I can infuse levity and whimsy into something, that's what I'm going to do. That works best for me. Things like that, magical things, things that bring me joy. I will use them more if they're like that, instead of just like, ugh, a field study, boring. ugh, I'm in doing research. No, thanks. So I was doing that for a long time. Then a couple years ago, I held I was just trying to, I've been, on a little journey following the thread, trying to figure out how to, um, how to connect with the advanced bitches who follow me. And so one of my ideas was like, well, let me do a small group and let me just see if I like that. Let me see if they like that, da, 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 da. So I held a very small group and we did it over, it was about 6 people, and we did it over Christmas because it was Christmas is loaded. We have the holidays and then we have the new year and all that. So that's a very loaded time, and it's a great time to get conscious and stay conscious so we don't fully fall under. And I taught them. And then and I just did this by myself. I didn't tell a soul. Like, it's so ridiculous, right? It's so stupid. Like, why would I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I need to play bingo to like have normal mental health. Like, it just seemed something to be ashamed about. And then I shared it with them, and then I just noticed that they were it just became a part of what everybody was doing. And then I heard somebody say like, oh, I did this thing, like this hard thing happened at school and I'm going to get a sticker for that. And that's when I realized, oh, this is actually a very powerful tool. And I a lot of times would just play when things got hard or things got scary. But what I realized is during that group is like, oh, CPTSD kids, you know, we have to play this all the time. Like, we'll be better off for it if we play it all the time, because it'll keep our personal growth work right at the forefront. And it just got good results. So that's when I decided to share it with everybody, and that's how we ended up here. I just recently, so inside the membership, we've been playing, and then I just did another round of, we had like weekly meetings, talking about bingo, talking about the hard things, and also talking about the resistance to playing bingo. So these are new behaviors, and it's like, I get, like, for instance, somebody once said, like, I'm finding myself resisting playing bingo because it feels like a to-do list. And then I said, oh, okay, well, then that means I encourage you to get stickers for not doing things. And so it's just about figuring out how to get it to work for you, and how to figure out clever ways to not get the attention of our inner saboteur or trigger our own childhood resistance to things like that. So, okay. So let's talk about, okay, why do we do this? So I've kind of explained a little why, but I wanted you to know, that there is real deep meaning behind this. Like, this is not just, a silly little thing that, like, oh, I play bingo, whatever. It's actually, it's very important, and it reinforces a lot of the work that we're trying to do. And so thank you for people who are sharing in the chat how helpful it has been. That's amazing. Okay, so let me just tell you how to play. So what you'll do is you'll hear what I have to say, and then you'll figure it out how you want to play. The way that I have played has evolved. What I have, so you fill up a bingo card. Noises. You fill up a bingo card. I got these cute little makeup stickers. I thought they were so cute. You fill up a card, and you can so on the bottom, you put your reward. So your reward can be money, just money. The way I'm doing it now, and it has evolved, is I get money for each square. And so, and what has helped me too is to have something that I really want in mind. So have like right now, I have this certain sweatshirt that I want. And so, I was like, you're going to get that sweater if you fill up your card. And so what you get a sticker for. So if you got up this morning and it was hard to function, but you did it anyway, that's a sticker. You definitely get a sticker for coming to this class. Who wants to do personal growth work? No, thanks. but you're here, you're doing it. That's a sticker that you're, it's an action toward the life and the behaviors that you want to have. And so you get a sticker for that. When something mean happens to me, I get a sticker for that, and I'll explain more about that later. So, are there any questions so far? Again, I'm about to really go into a deep dive, but so far of anything that I've said that's like you just have a question about what I've talked about so far. Yay, I'm so excited you're gonna try it. Okay. And again, you can just unmute yourself and ask me the question. Okay. So, okay. Let's see. Okay. Also in the membership, all those bingo meetings were recorded, so you could have access to all of those if you do the membership. Okay, I told all about that. Okay, did that. Okay. One of the things that I like to do is so the stickers can be whatever you want. You can see I've done stars, I've done hearts. I have these little stickers. Let's see if I have it here. Yeah, so I have these little stickers that have like a little heart and a little dumbbell on it. And I already know, I don't have to write down what I did. I already know that I worked out with weights because I don't like to do that, but I did it. So I also have, I have a banana sticker. I like tiny ones too. A banana sticker is because that means I stretched. And so I already know what that is. So we can code them. So there's lot. So, but the stickers, they need to bring you joy. So whatever will bring you joy, whatever's the most helpful, whatever's the most useful for you, you use them. So I like them coded, but most of the time because I have tons of them, because I would give them out to my clients, and I haven't been in a counseling office for a really long time. I have a gold stars, obviously. And so let's see. I cleaned out my closet for 15 minutes. And so right now I'll self-disclose. Mine are $2 for something that I don't want to do, but I've done it. Or I've done kind of a hard thing. But if it's really hard, so like I get $2 if I exercise so I'm trying to stretch weights and the cardio, no thanks. And I'm a morning person, so if I don't do it in the morning, it doesn't happen. My freeze mode starts kicking in big time, starting at 11 o'clock or noon. So if I worked out this morning, which I did, and so I could get a star for that, that's $2. If I do it afternoon, I get $5. So I changed the number to actually give me the incentive to do it, because my brain is like, well, that's not worth, I don't even want that $2. I'll wait on that sweatshirt. I'll do something hard tomorrow morning or whatever. But it's like, it's helping me change my freeze mode, because me saying that, it's like, oh, if I don't do it in the morning, it's not going to get done. Okay, well, that's an intention that I have been manifesting my whole life. It's like, what if that's not true? What if that's been an identity that I've had that's actually not true? What if I could heal my freeze mode by giving myself a reward? Okay, so that's just an example of what I do. But sometimes people put a prize at the end. Sometimes people put time. Like if I fill out this card, I get a whole day of relaxation, or I get 5 hours of checking out, watching a Netflix thing, or that you can use time. So you just trust your gut on that. Okay, so this is play. And play is something, because you play bingo, and play is something that we're robbed of as children. We're all these little adults growing up because we're trying to survive. And so we miss out on play, and this is a way we can put it back into our lives. It's also, we also can use, like I said, symbols, and these stickers like would be symbols. And like I would use a fawn sticker if I said no to something. So that means I'm working on my fawn response. And I might do myself like freeze mode bitch. I might put this one down when it's just like, I'm dosing myself. I talk about that a lot. Like one thing that helps me is kind of dosing myself with my trauma responses. And so for my self-care, I can just check out for the day, and I can put that sticker there to say that's my self-care for the day. That is self-care for me. But these are symbols, and symbols are the language of the psyche, and that's what we're working on. Healing our psyche. When I used to teach this in the past, I used to say, like, I was being a super fawn, and I would say, now it doesn't have to take a lot of money. Like, you can just give yourself 5 cents for a square, like, because I didn't want people to feel pressure. And also it was, it's like my slip was showing. I wasn't rewarding myself with very much. But now I say, fuck that. And that those CPTSD kids, we are owed back taxes of self-care. We are owed back taxes on fun and play and happy things. And we deserve points for every time we overcome something that was done to us, even including negative thoughts like, oh, I hate myself right now. Oh, I realize that is a negative thought. And I remember that I can't afford the luxury of a negative thought. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to test that thought. I'm going to see if it's true. That's all hard stuff. And we deserve a reward for it. Let me real quick go to, just to cover this. I've never really covered it like this before. So for a habit, a part of a habit is a cue. So we get a cue, like it could be like my stomach's growling, and that's a cue. And then like, ooh, I have a craving. So this is from Atomic Habits. So number 1, this is like what does he call it? The habit loop. We get a cue, something happens, a trigger. We get a craving. Then we give a response. Are we going to succumb to that craving? Are we going to resist that craving? And either way, we need a reward. So this is what I'm thinking. So when I talk about noticing dynamics, one of the things that bingo has helped me to do is not have resentments. Because if somebody says, gives me a dig or something like that, that's the cue. So if somebody says something like, I'm trying to think of something my family said at some point, just something, well, must be nice. Something like, that's a dig. Must be nice. Like, that's a dig. And so my craving is to attack, or my craving is to go into my trauma responses, or my craving is to, lash out or give some sort of passive aggressiveness or, whatever. But playing bingo gives me a space between the immediate trigger and the response. And so now my response is put a sticker on my thing, and then that relieves me of the attack of the person. That relieves me of falling into whatever darkness that I'm trying to be sucked into. And then, so habit loop, cue, craving, response, reward. We have to have a reward. So let's think about, if the cue is the family saying must be nice, and the craving is to attack, and let's say my response, instead of playing bingo, my response will be, well, fuck you, or the silent treatment, what's wrong, nothing, all that. My reward is, now I have power and control. If I'm going to punish somebody with you know, my powers. That's my reward. Unfortunately, these are the rewards we don't care for anymore. We don't want that. And so when I say reward, it's like that old pattern is so familiar that rewards us, and it rewards all the trauma stuff. And what we're trying to do is not do that. We're trying to not take the bait from people. So when they get the cue, we're trying not to, we might notice like, oh, I really want to go for the jugular there, but let me do something else and remember my tools. Let me remember the ladder of trust. Let me remember, I'm doing the field study. Let me remember my bingo. And my response is to put a fucking sticker down, and I'm going to get $5 for that, or I'm going to get $2 for that, or whatever the amount you want, because that was uncalled for. And for me, it would be whatever the amount would be, so I won't be hooked by that person and I won't form a resentment against that person. And then I'll get my reward. And for me, it is very rewarding. I do believe, I haven't seen any research, but I do believe I get a dopamine hit when I put a sticker on there. And I certainly will get a dopamine hit when I get my prize. So the other thing about these 4 things is the habit loop is we can use, if we want to. Sometimes it doesn't work for people because we don't want to turn bingo into a chore, but we can use it to form new habits. And so if I'm if I'm trying to start running or I'm trying to lift weights, then I'm going to go ahead. So my response is I'm going to go do that thing. My reward is I get 2 points for it, or $2 for it. And my reward again is the doing of it and the prize I'm going to get at the end. Heather has a question.
Hello. Just a quick question on the little example you gave with the stuff along the lines of must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do the fuck you, choke them out and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but instead you give stickers. But I honestly, along with the sticker I earn, I honestly don't know what to say in the moment instead of the fuck you, because I go straight to fuck you. So it's like,
Yes.
do I say,
Yes.
I know it's true in that effort of not arguing with the dum-dum?
Yes,
Right?
absolutely. I would say that gets 2 stickers. And so that's we have to learn tools. We, in those instances, we might come up with a script of when the person says it must be nice. I might say something like, it kind of is, and I have you may, if you are a member, so you have access to the handouts, and there's adult mode statements in there, and those we can throw that, well, you may be right or whatever. And then I would call my friend and I would say, fuck them, I hate them so much, this is trash, like these are garbage people, like why am I can't believe this is my DNA, da, 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 da. So we get that, we express the poison, but we also, but in the moment, I mean, I used to carry bingo stickers in my purse, and especially if I was having to deal with somebody and I would just sneak a little sticker in there. Some people do it on their phones. I've heard people that they use emojis. But yeah, so that's just learning tools and learning to use tools. And for me, that's like that's a least of 4 sticker event. It's like I get a sticker for not going for the jugular. I get a sticker for using my script. I get a sticker for not having a resentment. I get a sticker for just noticing my growth, because in the past I would have just drawn into that. And the reason we don't do the fuck you is because that is our old behavior. Like
Sure.
and that's what and it didn't give us good results. Like it
Never.
didn't give us what we wanted. And so we're trying to figure out other ways to actually get what we want. Does that make sense?
It does. And it makes me realize where I am, that yes, I have these tools and I see them, but in that moment, I'm not fast enough yet. It's like, I know I'm not strong enough to be around the dysfunction right now.
Will you ask me the same question next time we have a member meeting? Because I have a tool for that. I have an explanation of how that process works.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. MJ.
Good morning. I just would like to add to something that you said that you've told me in
Please.
the past that I have found immensely helpful.
Beautiful.
And your exact quote is advanced bitches know what they know, what they know. If someone hands you a dig and you think that it was an insult and you think that they're coming for you, you're absolutely right. Yes, they are. And you get two stickers, one for the dig and one for noticing.
Beautiful. Exactly. That's it. I love it. That's perfect. 100% yes. 100% yes. Um, and playing bingo is a way to reinforce that we know that we know that we know that we know. And we don't have to second guess, and we don't have to um make it nice for them. We don't have to fix it. We can say like that is actually, because it's my intuition, and if it feels like a dig, it was a dig to me. Like it was. Yeah, it was a dig. Okay, EB.
Hi, I kind of wanted to elaborate on Heather's question. So,
Yes.
what she said about not being able to think that quickly in the moment and kind of like use the space of the bingo card to do a adult reaction. I've got kind of a similar thing that I have where like I'll immediately cry and then I'll
Mhm.
cry because I'm crying. And then like I'm like justifying why I'm crying. And like, I can't, how can we use like the bingo card to create a space where we can like not get that hot red feeling in your head with the tears welling up and like step back? I find that really hard.
That's a great question. So in that instance, because in that situation, it seems like I'm not safe. Is that true in the scenario you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm attacked. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not safe. And so this I learned through being a grief counselor. I can um compartmentalize. And I can say to myself, and I can feel the tears, and I might, oh God, oh God, oh God. When I'm entering any of these spaces, I have someone in my life that knows that I'm entering these spaces. And we have reciprocal relationships to where it's my turn to be in the disaster. And then I will text that person, it's happening now. And then they'll just send me like 14,000 emojis. And then of like, I can't wait to talk to you, all that. Like, so I have a safe person. And sometimes for me, that helps. I feel seen. And if I text that person, advanced bitches ask for help, that's a sticker, that's a star. And then, but at first I would, because this is a really hard one to break. And they're all hard, but this is also hard. Is I would get a sticker for the first time that I start crying, and I can't help it. And then for me, because how I heal myself is I follow the thread. I would want to follow that thread of like process that with somebody. A therapist would be great, or just even a safe friend. Like, I could feel the tears welling up when this thing happened. Then I start to understand, like, oh, I start to cry when people raise their voices. Okay, now I know that these people are intoxicated, voices are going to be raised. I need to remove myself before that happens. And it's just an ongoing process. But to begin with, using bingo is like, oh, okay, I'm crying, and now I'm texting my bestie that I'm crying. And now I'm giving myself another sticker because I'm crying. And then maybe one day the day will come where you don't cry because you're crying. You'll just cry the first tears. And crying is releasing toxins. So, I'm not going to beat myself up for crying, like I'm trying my best to heal. And it definitely sounds like a trauma response. Um, I'm guessing, I guess that would be maybe a freeze trauma response, just very wounded and scared and feeling little.
Yeah, it actually happened to me at work, which is like a place I feel like it's not okay. I know, not
Totally.
okay to cry. And what I like looking back at it, like if I go through the step by step, I'm like, my boss was being passive aggressive in the way I experienced it in my home growing up. And it made me feel like I didn't have a voice.
Yes, yes. And I would, I mean, this is, I could talk forever. Is it an interesting you ended up working for somebody that replays your family trauma from childhood?
Damn.
You know, like it's just like, oh wow, like and so then like, okay, passive aggressive. I cry when somebody's passive aggressive to me. Again, it sounds like a trauma response. Do you feel little when that happens?
Yes, I feel totally like mute, small, immature, stupid. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I just want to give you a sticker for every word you just said. Like you just for you to know that. And so we have to go into these places armored. Like I dress, I sometimes I think of, I mean, it's like I cosplay a warrior, but in my way. One of the things that really helps me is a pencil skirt because it's constricting and it's like, it's just like, okay, I remember I'm in here for battle. I'm kind of uncomfortable and but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes I will put my belt. It's harder when you have body dysmorphia, which I do, but I want to be conscious, so I'll have to deal with my body dysmorphia, but put my belt on one loop too small, like the smaller loop, so I'll be uncomfortable because the process will happen and be like, why are my pants out? Oh shit, I'm supposed to be paying attention. And the other thing that may be helpful with bingo is the passive aggressive behavior is like you get a sticker for it and you write it down. It has helped me to write it down. You could write it on the back if when you're beginning. I find it's helpful to, I would put PA. You could just put a 1 here or whatever. PA or the star or whatever the sticker is. PA, passive aggression. Or condescending comment or whatever, like the passive aggressive, a slamming door or whatever. You could put passive aggressive slamming door. And that's going to start getting you really conscious to, and so if you do that, you are in adult mode. You are in, I feel like there's little me and then there's Elizabeth, the woman that has all the parts within her. And so like, I'm Elizabeth, I'm in the driver's seat. In a way, it's like communicating to our inner child, I've got you. We're the ones we've been waiting for. I've got you. Don't worry. I've got this fucking asshole. And then I also like advanced bitches love to hear other advanced bitches tales of woe. Like we are there, like, not complaining, but the noticing and the like, hey, I'm doing this and this, and then just to get that reinforcement of like, that's incredible. But I think one of the things I just recommend for you is like, I want you to buy it could be, maybe it's your first bingo gift, but I think you should just buy it just to like set yourself on the course of playing bingo. A bracelet or a ring of symbolic meaning to you, of power to you. And so when you have it on and you'll get a glimpse of it, like I will, well, now I got a tattoo. So sometimes I'll kiss this or I'll like rub it so I can like remember like my purpose and what I'm doing. And then I can fall apart later, but there's something in that, it's hard. It's a big piece of work. I'll just tell you a little bit, like the language that I use with my therapist. So I would say, I'm going to go do this hard thing. And then she would say, okay, well, while you're doing that, have your inner child come to my office in your imagination. Have your inner child go do let me go do this hard thing. I'm going to have my inner child color symbolically. Maybe I actually do color later or whatever, but like, kind of suit up, go, like you get it. Does that make sense?
Totally. This was like the best therapy ever. Thank you.
Yay, let me give you a hug. Yes, but something very, and the other thing I do is sometimes whenever and your boss is a Dementor, and so whenever, are you familiar with Harry Potter?
No.
Okay. So your boss is just a dark villain, and maybe a villain of similar ilk has come up for you. Is it Captain Hook? Is it whatever, like Maleficent? What, it doesn't matter. And so what, okay, so Harry Potter, there's this terrible monster called the Dementor, and there's an antidote for the Dementor, and the antidote is called a Patronus. And so I will put my Patronus, meaning my happy antidote, on my phone wallpaper. And it has to be, people will look at our phones, so it has to be subtle enough to where you know what it is. I change my wallpaper every week on my phone as I'm working on something new, as I'm, something funny or something, just to keep myself, it's a way I keep myself conscious. So, put something on your phone, whatever is the antidote to this horrible boss. If he did slam a door, like, do you have can you Google him and search a Narnia door? And so if he's slamming that door, you'll slam yours and go into Narnia. So just playing with symbols to help you combat that dum-dum. But there's so many things that I said, and there's so many things that you could get stickers for on that, because it's a huge piece of work. I saw a quick question about, do you feel bad about noticing these things? And I do not feel bad. Because I'm a fawn, I'm guessing you might be as well. To hold our family accountable and responsible for their behavior is a betrayal to the toxic family system. We are indoctrinated to make excuses for them. We are indoctrinated to but it's to survive, to protect ourselves. We had to say that they meant well, because it would have killed our little child psyche to think that they weren't, because we really depend on them to live. So for me, it's like, if somebody gives me a dig, that's a psychological wound. That's emotional violence. It's but let's say they slap me on the face. Should I feel guilty that I'm noticing that they slapped me on my face? Well, what they're doing to me is worse than that. I really wish I would have been slapped in the face. Well, I was slapped in the face in addition to all the other shit, but but feeling guilty is part of how we're going to heal. Like it, and so it's like, oh shoot, I still feel guilty. Because one of the things I used to say, and I really should say it in every class, is like, there's another Harry Potter saying, we solemnly swear we're up to no good. Like, choosing to be an advanced bitch is to go against, it is to heal ourselves at the price of, holding other people accountable for their actions and their behavior. Like, people are responsible for their energy. And if they have shitty energy, then I don't need to be around them. And I don't feel guilty about that, because I know what I know. Their energy is shitty. I don't have the luxury of that. But it is scary and hard, and I recommend therapy to help you to do these things. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple questions about, but I want to make sure that I cover what I want to cover with the bingo stuff. So Colleen.
Okay, thanks. I will budget my words.
Go ahead.
It took me a while. I kept screwing up the times for bingo because numbers are hard for me, and I'm on East
Same.
Coast, and I always screw up Mountain and Central. But so I sat in the other day, and then I was like, okay, let me just, until I really learn how to do it, let me try to do a bingo card. And I was like, I'll just give myself stickers for, really pushing through things I don't want to do. I filled that bitch up. I'm like, apparently I hate my life. So I'm like, all right, let me just, maybe it'll get easier. But what was interesting was, what would you say to someone who, there's really nothing that I want to buy. There's really nothing that I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm just trying to build capacity for like rupture and repair in my life right now. And I'm
Yeah.
just trying to build capacity for joy as well. And I was really surprised. I'm putting these little stupid stickers on there. And that little kid part of me was happy and didn't need the other thing. And I'm like, are you shitting me that my kid is fine with just a sticker? And I go back to first grade when we would get the S plus, you know, back when grades didn't matter. Oh, you get a star for this. And the little kids are super stoked on that. And I was like, are you kidding me? That, and so what do you tell people if they're not driven by, and maybe that'll change, but can you speak to that?
Yes. So one of the things for you, one of the things that come up to me immediately is that your prize would be to get more stickers that you like upgrade your sticker, you know, you know, and follow the thread of what your inner child likes. Take her to Michael's. And that could be, you know, a trip to Michael's could be the prize, or, you know.
You're so fucking good. You're like my little kid right now. It's just, you nailed it. You fucking
Yes. Amazing. Yes. And then you just follow the thread, because maybe next time you go to Michael's, it's like she has her eye on a paint thing. And you're like, okay, bitch. Like yeah. Yes. And then I would also say that it makes sense to, are you a fawn? You have the fawn response, people pleasing response?
I'm very fighty.
Okay.
I have fawned, I have frozen, but fight is my first response.
Fight's your main one.
I was a scrapper when I was a kid. Yeah, I got kicked.
I love it. Oh, bow down. Amazing. I don't know. I'm just thinking that I think that we're just not used to allowing ourselves to have nice things. Like one of the things the first class life thing, which I might just need to have another whole class about bingo, but is like one of the gifts that I give myself is I will allow myself to take toll roads when I go to Dallas. Like I want to get on the express. I love it. I feel like a VIP badass bitch going 80 miles an hour, whatever the fuck it is. Like it's crazy. And it's like, it's not crowded, like that kind of shit. Like just upgrading my life is very helpful to me. So I might use that. It's like, I get to, you know, $10 toward my, you know, toll bill or whatever. Does that make sense? Like I bet you there's areas in your life you could upgrade a little bit.
Brilliant. That just kind of opens up a different pathway of thinking for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Awesome.
talking about that.
Because I do think, you know, underneath, I think we do have a resistance to giving ourselves nice things. And it might be in the disguise of like, oh, I don't really need any of that, or I really don't really want any of that. And so that's what, but it could be true. It could absolutely be true. So, but you'll find you'll follow the thread. And it sounds like it has already worked immediately. Is that right, Colleen?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Totally.
So you already have some threads to follow. Okay.
Yeah, I
You can
appreciate it.
update us.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, Brenda.
So I have more of a testimonial than a question.
Oh,
really.
yes, thank you.
I just wanted to share that doing this process as a group and under Elizabeth's kind of guidance has been so helpful to me, because I often don't recognize, I've kind of grown in my you know what you know when you know through watching other people. Like in my life, I'm like, oh, was that a dig or whatever was that? But when I hear other people talk, I'm like, sister, that's out of line. You know, I can see it. And so sharing with other people this process has really been illuminating for me. And then another thing that has been fun with the sort of playful aspect is that sometimes something so outrageous is going on that I'm kind of processing. And because of playing this game and with these other people, I have this little lucidity where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell everybody this shit kind of thing. And
yes!
so I kind of,
oh my gosh, yes.
I kind of, it gives me that pause to have a different perspective on stuff that otherwise I would have been crying and feeling hopeless about. Instead, I'm like, I get a whole sticker card for this. This was really outrageous. And then I know I can share it. And then another thing I wanted to share as part of my kind of testimony is that I would really encourage people to jump on board as soon as possible, because it's great that we actually have pretty small groups right now. And my prediction, which might be wrong, but my prediction is that this is going to explode and there will be a lot more people on these calls. And what has been such a blessing right now is that if you send in a question or have a question, there's time for it to come up. And down the road, I think that's going to be a lot rarer. So I kind of have like a buy it now message for you.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. All right. And that's all.
Thank you so much. So much. That's amazing. I'm so honored. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. We're gonna do some speed. One second. I just got a text from my daughter. I can't wait to see it. It says, "Am I too old for this?" I can't wait to see what it is. And you know what I'm going to say? No, that's what I'm going to say. You're not too old for that. Okay. Okay, I put the Bitchifesto in the text. Glance at that if you would. Let me just give you just a quick overview of why we do this and how it's helpful to the things that we actually want to do, how bingo is helpful to those things. Okay, so so I'm sure all of you have said at one point, or maybe still say, like, I feel like I'm not making any progress. Well, the bingo shows you that you are. It's like, oh, I'm wearing this outfit. Like, this headband I got because I did the bingo thing. Or, oh, like, I clearly am making progress. We see the evidence of our progress because we've been playing bingo, and that means progress. So Bitchifesto 1, advanced bitches go to any links to recover from addiction, codependency, and dysfunctional patterns. And one of the links that we go to is we play fucking bingo. Advanced bitches do whatever it takes to heal their childhood trauma. All the stuff we've been talking about, that is how you heal your childhood trauma. You figure out the passive aggressive people. You figure out, you start to notice the crazy ass dynamics. That's healing your childhood trauma. Like that is and it's like the minute you can, like EB was sharing earlier, like, oh, it's the passive aggression thing that instantly makes me go away. Like it's like a spell that has taken me over that makes me go to sleep like Dorothy in the poppy fields. Okay, so what do I need to do about that? And how do I fix that? And maybe PS, by the way, maybe you have your iPhone picture now, Dorothy asleep in the poppy fields, for your phone wallpaper. But this is how we do it. We're forming new connections. Like things are changing in our brain. Advanced bitches master the art of recognizing and declining the engagement of the inner saboteur or internalized trauma voice. It's like when that trauma voice comes, and I've heard people talk about it in our little groups, is that like, it's like, oh, I thought I was being ridiculous, but then I remembered that this is actually fucking healthy that I did that. That is healing. That is recognizing the inner saboteur and making another choice. Advanced bitches learn to wield their trauma responses like fucking lightsabers. I'm going to put fucking in there. It just says lightsabers, but like lifesavers, lifesavers, same. I'm a food addict. Lightsabers. So like when things are hard, I already know, like, okay, I need some freeze time. I have been neglecting that. Okay, so I'm going to wield that in an amazing way and watch the best shows and all that. Like that's what I'm going to do. And then that's my self-care and that's healing. For fight mode bitches, it's like, okay, what cause do you want to support? Or do you need to leave a comment on a dum-dum on a white male on TikTok? Like, what do you need? What is going to be your fight mode? What's your cause? We're learning to wield those in a way that's helpful to us. Our trauma responses have positive characteristics, and that's what we're going to learn to do, wield them in that way that don't hurt us, but only empower us. Advanced bitches know their worth, bitch. I'm watching myself increase my self-worth. Like I'm watching myself do it. It's so fucking powerful. Let's see. Well, advanced bitches do not hide it under a fucking bushel. We unapologetically shine. Like you can see me like holding these up. I mean, when I first taught this class a long time ago, I was like embarrassed about how much my cards were. And so fuck that. Like, what did I do the other day that I got 10 points? Or I went to the neurologist, $10. Like, why would you get $10 for that? It's fucking hard. Talk about shutting down. Talk about like going in there with an attitude of like, I need this kind of help, not that kind of help. And then like 5 minutes in there, it's like, oh, okay, I'll do that. Like, no, like that's really hard for me. And so I get points for that. Anyway, this is I could talk about following the thread. I could trace a thread for each one of these 25 things to the bingo. One of them is advanced bitches are dedicated to living 100% resentment-free life. Okay, that's a big ask. But this is truly what we want, because when we have a resentment, we're ... not free. And so this, when I, put something like one time I was being punished, I could tell I was being punished with silence. I got a sticker for that because I noticed it and I'm not going to get hooked by it. I got to let that person do what they did, but I refuse to get a resentment about this. And if that's not enough, then I'll turn it into $5 or like, what will it be to what amount will it be so I don't get a resentment? Now I might have to do other work. Maybe like giving myself a prize isn't going to be the thing for that, but it is a help to, it's like, oh, I don't get to have that response that I want, the craving of like tearing their soul to pieces. Instead, I'll get my sticker and, get a shirt that is has a hole in it, torn to pieces. Like that'll be it for me. Okay. The last one on the Bitchifesto, number 25. Advanced bitches become fairy godmothers to the wounded child within. We're the ones we've been waiting for. It's us. It's always been us. And I swear to God, like I don't know how to say it in not a woo-woo way, but there's this weird thing that's happening to me. It's like, as I heal, it's almost like I'm going back in time. I know it sounds weird, but like I'm going back in time. It's like the child in me. So when I was 5 years old, it's like the me now is the fairy godmother to that 5-year-old. Maybe that's how I survived, is that I'm that person to her. And she's just been waiting for me to get my shit together where we could just live it all the time, It's weird. Like it's fucking magical. If anybody else has that experience, that would make me feel better. So I'm not a complete fucking weirdo. Where's
I
my
totally relate. And it totally makes sense, because also that's like, because like you were saying earlier, like symbols are so helpful. We need to attach to something. Our brains need something to be like, to make sense of things that, we don't otherwise have words for. And it's like, if say, like you saying like the inner child stuff, I relate to that really hard, of like, even myself imagining like just embracing like full on like being like, I see these old pictures of myself and being like, you hold that person, right? And at different ages too, because like also like my middle school self, like how she looked, and my high school self, how she looked, is like, I embrace all of them like in my mind's eye, because it's like, that's what I'm doing. So yeah.
That's so neat. Like I just it's crazy. And this is all unintended. Like I didn't expect to do this. I was just trying not to be fucked up and sad all the time. I was trying to get off the sofa, you know, I didn't expect this at all. It's pretty great, but yeah, so thank you for making me not feel alone in that. Okay, all right, let's see, make sure I say all the things. This is from The Power of Habits, but he recommends testing rewards. Testing rewards. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like test a reward. I kind of fell into a lapse of the bingo. Um, and I realized that that wasn't as effective as literally playing. We have a temptation just to do it in our minds, but actually playing and having the tactile and touch. It's also, you know, I use expressive counseling and I use expressive therapies in my counseling, and so like art therapy, like this is. It's art, it's therapeutic, like it's silly, it's play, it's, you know, it's, so that in and of itself is healing. So cool, it's so cool. But we can test rewards. So what I was doing before when I first started playing, that wasn't working for me, to get me to do it. So that's how I finally came up with, I actually think I need to make more money doing this, because it'll give me the more incentive to do it. And so that's been helpful, but it's an evolution, and you'll figure out how to work it. I just need to it's always really, really important to me to make sure you have the message that this is, bingo's great, this is all great, whatever, but the most important thing is you keeping yourself safe. And so if you are in a marriage or with a roommate situation where this is too vulnerable, I don't recommend that you do it. I recommend you do it in your phone. You know, or figure out a coded way to do it, you know. Is it just like little tick marks in a journal, or is it, it really is about staying safe. And so figure out how to do this and stay safe at the same time, because we got to be safe. We got to be safe. I also want to remind everybody, Power of Habit is Charles Duhigg. It's older. I actually recommend James Clear's book more than that, Atomic Habits. It's the more recent one, more recent research, bestseller, out of this world. It's one of my top 5 all-time best self-help books. Like it's really incredible. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm gonna stop again for questions, but I have a little bit more things to share if anybody has a question for me or comment even.
I just had a comment.
Yes.
So you said the thing about playing it mentally, and you found it more helpful to actually put stickers on. I was playing it mentally, and I thought that was satisfying me enough. And I realized that like I can play it mentally during the week, but then at the end of the week, I kind of sit and do the stickers then. And that's like a medium that I found.
Beautiful.
So I don't know for anyone else, but like this was like my week of
Oh, I see it.
and so it was kind of nice to like, it didn't feel so overwhelming, I guess, to be able to keep tallying my head, because that works for me and my daily life, but then take the time at the end of the week to sit down and go through my week and give myself stickers for that.
I love it. I think that's a great idea, because again, we have to do all this stuff, and we don't want to make this a chore. If it turns into a chore, I would put it aside. But I think that's, and I've done the same thing. My week got busy, and I haven't been looking at it for a few days as well. And for me, I want to, you know, as soon as I can, pick back up, because I know I forget things too. I know that I know I'm probably doing more than I'm giving myself credit for, but we don't want it to be another thing on your to-do list. It is meant for fun and for, figuring out how it can help us grow and change. And, but there's no pressure. And I read this quote in a book a long time ago. And he said, because I was in the new, all that new age 90s shit about, and still it's today, like, are you mindfulness, meditation, blah, 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 all this shit that we should be doing. And I just started feeling like, well, I'm clearly not trying to get better because I'm not doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. And then this guy goes, I exercise every single day, except the days that I don't. I meditate every single day, except the days that I don't. We play bingo every single day, except the days that we don't. There is no shame in doing this. And you take what you need and leave the rest. I forgot to mention this. Sometimes we might have more than one card going, and one card could be just for fucked up family shit, and the other card could be for habits. On the card that was put in the chat, it says Advanced Bitches Bingo, blank edition. And so like for my first one, like a New Year's Habits edition, and then I had a heroine edition, meaning that was the female version of a hero, not the other one. I was going to be a heroine in my own life. This is a saying no edition. What do I have? But I would do like vacation edition, Christmas edition, New Year's edition, like whatever, but again, and also make it simple. We don't do stuff that's complicated. We do stuff that's simple. So most of the time I have one card going, but it's maybe helpful to have more than one. And then the other day in our group, somebody shared that she has one that's for being, just for being edition. And also, we've talked about, but self-love is like, we get that middle sticker just for free. We just get it for free. And I have started doing this thing where I will sometimes give myself another one that's free because I just know things have been hard for my inner child, or things have been hard for me. Or if I got sick like that, I get stickers for those days because I'm trying not to do those things. MJ, did you have a question or a comment?
No, I was just gonna touch on something in the chat. Let
Okay,
me scroll
please.
back
Thank
up.
you.
The question was, do you allocate one subject per card, an exercise card, a trigger react card, or is there just one card with self-care and you use stickers for everything? And personally, I have a bunch of different cards going at different times because there's different things that I want to keep on top of. And I find that super helpful for racking up like those bingo points. So just a little tip to other advanced bitches, if you're trying to win a prize, the more cards you have and the more work you do, the faster you can get there.
Yes. Another thing that I've been doing is, but the answer is you will figure it out. You will figure out what works best for you. Like you will, and you're going to make this your own, because that's exactly how, like, it's like you saw my heart stickers. Those stickers could be absolutely repulsive to somebody here. Like gross. Why would anybody want that? You just might want just only badass stickers, or stickers that represent strength or whatever. I don't know if you noticed on Alex's card that she showed us, she had, there was like a monster. Yeah. That's a Death Eater, isn't it? Yeah. So she has clearly encountered some Death Eaters this week, and that, the stickers themselves can be symbols of the thing that we accomplished, and we don't have to write it down. But I make little notes when I have time. I make little notes, but I do trust myself. If I got a sticker, I did something to deserve it. So if I'm too in a rush, but I have here, I made a phone call, $2. Stretched $2. I've decided to give myself stickers for hair and makeup. Like I've decided to do that because um if I do all that, I know I just feel better. Like it just it's like if I catch a glimpse in the mirror, I'm like, she's so cute. It gives me a little lift. And so, but there's days I don't feel like doing it, putting it on. But on the days where I'm like in between and I have some energy and I have some time, it's like I'll go ahead and give myself a sticker for it. And now I realize, like, because one of the things I've been doing when I do my hair is I've been watching Disney movies so I could do the characters. And that'll be so that I'm doing my hair and I'm watching the movies to do content. So yeah, just whatever you want, but just follow the thread and see what works for you. I wanted to do a quick mention of, I mentioned things in the Bitchifesto, which are the backbone of why we're doing this. But I've been talking about developmental delays in the membership. And these are the things that CPTSD kids do not develop because we're too busy surviving. And to develop these things would be a threat to the dysfunctional / toxic family system. And so we have to keep all this padded down in order to survive, to be accepted in our families, to live. And so let me just read some of these. So self-acceptance, we don't get to develop that. Well, I accept that I have CPTSD. I accept that I need a little bit more support. This is support to do the hard things that I want to do and to do the things I want to sometimes. Like there's things that I want to do that are still hard for me. Like I enjoy doing them or whatever, but I just, part of my story is I just filled with constant dread of all things, of moving, just dread. And this is huge. Like I'm starting to like, wait, are you okay? Like you haven't been in a complete freeze mode, coma for a while. Like, am I okay? Like what's happening? But that makes me think like, oh, I really need to make sure I get some dosing time because I've just been so, but doesn't mean that it's not hard. I get if I do a TikTok, I get a star. If I do a post, I get a star. Okay, so self-acceptance. I'm accepting myself. I'm accepting that I'm trying to, become whole in this lifetime to, and also, yep. So this is the next one. So clear sense of identity. I'm a bitch that plays advanced bitches bingo. I'm a bitch in community with other people that are doing it. I'm an advanced, and therefore I'm an advanced bitch. Like these are things. I'm a person, and if you don't want to say all that, you can just say I'm a person that does advanced personal growth work. Like I'm not willing to settle for, the status quo of my indoctrination, the status quo of not asking for help, the status quo of, being in relapse or whatever. Like so this can help us with that. Self-compassion, like that was really hard. The person that was mean and passive aggressive, I get a star for that. That was hard for me. I get a star for the fact that I cry. Like I feel, very vulnerable and scared in these situations. And so it's a call for compassion, just constant. I mean, it's just, again, sticker after sticker is just so compassionate. And then giving ourselves a reward is so much self-compassion. Self-protection. I would get a star for going to get that necklace. Like what I used to do is I have a really neat cuff that I got as a gift one time, a real good, like a sterling silver thick cuff. And I used to like pretend like that was my Wonder Woman thingy. And like, I would wear it in places where I needed that strength or the needed that, like anytime I give a speech, like look for a cuff. We'll talk about stars for speeches. But look when something's hard for me, like I will want to figure out how to protect myself. I'll bookend it, meaning I'll have a support friend to call before I do the thing, and another, and that same advanced bitch on the other side of it. Like I'm being protected, I'm being held and seen by the safe, always safe person. And they'll let you know pretty quickly if they're not safe, and we just move on to find the next safe person. Let's see, capacity for full self-expression. Like I'm expressing myself in the things that I do and in the stickers I choose, and willpower and motivation. It has helped me do things. Like I said, I exercised after lunch. Like what? Like what? Like that's crazy. Like I'm not used to that. Or like if I know, like I don't want to put the dishes away right now, but if I do it, I get a sticker. And I know that I feel better when I do that. I feel more calm, cool, and collected if my house is in more order. Self-care. The whole thing is self-care. The whole advanced bitches bingo. It's what it is. It's self-care. The other thing that we don't develop is belief that life is a gift. Most of us have thought life was just a just a terrible thing, like just hard and why, and just can't catch a break, and the good stuff's not for me, and I don't want to be here. And and for me, like I said, I just felt full of existential dread at all times growing up. And this has made me feel like life is a gift. And I am trying to live the fuck out of it, because I have lost a lot of time to my trauma. I have lost a lot of time to my the consequences of that trauma and how it played out for me in my 20s and 30s. I've lost a lot of my life, and I want to get as much goodness and gold stars and amazingness as I can, because I deserve that. It's the least I can do for myself, is to, carve out a little bit of time where I actually get to live from my truth and who I truly am and my clear sense of identity, and not my pathology, not my trauma, not all my maladaptive behaviors. Self-esteem. How do we get self-esteem? By doing esteemable things from us. We don't get it from other people. It must come from us. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And so when we see ourselves at another one of our groups, somebody was talking about, I loved it so much, achievement amnesia. So we do all these achievements, we get all these great accolades, and we do all this shit, and yet none of it feels like it's meaningful to us. It doesn't feel like it's enough. It feels like, oh, that was nothing, that was easy for me, or oh, this old thing, this old master's degree, like this old the fact that I'm saving people's lives every day, oh, that's just nothing. And so this is giving us practice to do it, to start to notice, like, oh, and then like, wow, I'm still playing bingo. I'm still part of, I'm still an advanced bitch. Also, PS, you're never not going to be an advanced bitch, no matter how much we regress. It's just not a thing. You are an advanced bitch. But you'll feel like one. And that just grows and grows. And a way that you can tell, like maybe you make a note of it now if you don't play, or even if you play, like make a note in your journal, like scale of 1 to 10. 1 being nothing, 1 being low self-esteem and 10 being high self-esteem. Rate your self-esteem today. Just rate it today. And the first number that comes up for you, that's the number. Whatever number comes up for you, that's the number. Don't second guess it. And what's it going to be in a month? Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be the same? Doubt that it's going to be lower, and then you'll see, oh shit. Like all of these, I had 0. Protect myself? Why? I need to protect everybody else. It's just crazy how it gets so good. Just the consequences of having a self are just astronomical. And then self-confidence, like, oh shit, I did that thing. I did that hard thing and I can do that again. And I used that tool and that tool worked. I can do that again. I'll share with you one time I told I was in a really good place. I kind of feel like that way right now, but it's like, oh my God, like telling my therapist, like, I don't know what's happening. I feel like a unicorn. And then she goes, well, you know what that means? If you can feel like a unicorn once, you can feel like a unicorn again. I have the wiring for unicorn. And so once you have a little bit of confidence in something that you did, that's a done deal. You can have it again, and then you're just going to build on that. One thing I didn't mention is another thing that's on the Bitchifesto is advanced bitches have an imperfection practice. And so that's another thing. Yes, I love it. Yes. Soon. Okay, so we all are indoctrinated to perfectionism. It's how we survived. It's not a problem that we have that. It's fine. But it's killing us. And what I realized was perfection. The inner saboteur fools us, the trauma fools us into thinking perfectionism is about being perfect, but it's actually about the beating ourselves up. That's why the inner saboteur wants you to be perfect, is so it can lambast you when you're not. So it can, have you by the throat when you're not. And guess what? You won't be, because 2 things, we're human. And it's just an impossibility. Human beings make mistakes, and it's a devastating truth, but we will make mistakes. And so sometimes I make a mistake on purpose. So my imperfection practice is I make a mistake on purpose. So, and for me, most of the times that means I don't give it the extra oomph that I could give it. Like, so if I'm going to create a post, like, I might say, look, that could be better, but it's good enough. And, it's imperfect, and I'm great with that. P.S. Try sing the Tigger song. Try. Bouncy, flouncy, clouncy. I don't know. Like, I gave it my best shot. I'm not going to do it perfectly. Because it's Tigger's turn today to see how Tigger healed anybody's childhood pain. So I do it on purpose. The other thing is, I got lightheaded. Hold on. Tigger made me lightheaded for a second. The other thing imperfection practices is we will make a mistake. It will happen and it'll be devastating, but we get stickers for that. So we get a sticker for intentional imperfection. And for some of us, that'll just have to mean like we didn't do our, obsessive compulsive thing to whatever we're working on. We just did it to its, good enough, and P.S. our good enough is pretty damn good. Like, it's kind of crazy how good our good enough is. And we get a sticker for when the mistake happens, and that we're not going to allow our inner saboteur to take us down. And imperfection is another thing advanced bitches love hearing about. Because we get so much joy from hearing about it, like just so much joy. So, but again, it's not complaining, it's processing, because what we're hearing when somebody says, oh, I did my imperfection practice, that's being in the solution. I get a rush from it. It's so fun. And it's usually just fucking funny. But if it isn't, that's okay too. But again, it's so empowering. And once again, it's that community of advanced bitches, small or large, that'll be there to give us the courage to be imperfect, to give us the courage to go ahead and have self-confidence, to give us the courage, because we'll see them do it, and then them being imperfect helps us, give us permission to be imperfect. Okay, we've got 2 more questions, and then that'll be it for today. Heather.
Mine is, I wanted to do a share if we had time, and I'm gonna try to see if my camera will work. Oh my gosh, there I am.
Hey!
Because as you were sitting there with that last little bit, first of all, here's my wand.
Yes, I was hoping we'd see it. Amazing.
Here's a wand.
Amazing. I love it so much.
I'm in love.
Gosh.
I'm in love. Nothing else exists for me right now.
I'm
Okay,
in love
put that
as well. Oh, that's amazing.
Your
The
little-
wand in me honors the wand in you.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't find where my camera is, so I'm like all.
No, that's perfect. We
I'm
see
like,
it.
look at
It's
me, look at
awesome.
me.
Love it, love it, love it.
I wanted to do a big share because as you were talking, I remembered I lost touch with how helpful this tool was for me. Like this was my book. This is how I did it. I pasted the manifesto to the front of a notebook, and I started plopping these bad boys in a book. And I started February 13th, almost a year ago, because I needed to write it out more, right? So pages and pages, any ideas for people, I needed to write it out. And I filled it. And now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, some of the shit that I got stickers for, didn't respond to an asshole. Okay, well, earlier, I just said, I still am responding. Well, it ebbs and it flows. Well, I want to show you, and I think I shared it. I'm up to like a notebook where I write it all out, and I don't have a grid, but let me back up a little bit. I just plop my stickers in there and write about it because
That's incredible. That's great. Oh God, amazing journal prompts.
I needed to follow the thread big time. And this book, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the month and the date at the top. So it's an ongoing journal. It could be 10 days long, 1 day long, whatever. And it is just doing wonders for me to write it out. And oddly enough, in December.
That's genius. That's a big piece of work.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
In December, I kind of backed off of bingo formally because December, right?
Of course.
And it's weird, like, but I've been to every bingo meeting, and I'm here, and I'm like, and I've got some stickers, right? I just can't wait to use them. And it's made me realize that I'm changing it up again. And I very much have symbol stickers, like anything Nemo and Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Little Mermaid, somebody took my voice. Like mine are very symbolic. Anything Harry Potter is mischief managed. Bullshit. Caught you on that one. I didn't, all of it. So I'm just in love with it. I'm still here doing it. Oh, there you can see it. So thank you. Anybody that's new, there's so many ways to figure out how to do it. Just do it. Give yourself a damn sticker. And whoever earlier said, I just love the stickers. Same.
Yes.
The stickers are it. So, okay. Going back into my can't see me world.
Thank you so much. I love that. And it is interesting how it evolves. I guess, I teach that symbols evolve, and I guess these are symbols. And so
yeah.
we'll definitely evolve. So thank you so much. And I really like you modeling that you can make it your own, and that will work the best if you make it your own. No one's allowed to beat themselves up about how they do bingo.
No, absolutely not. And I do bingo on the go. I'll have a little bag with some stickers in it. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. Okay, MJ.
Thank you.
So my favorite part about Advanced Bitches Bingo is the imperfection practice. And I just want to share why I think it's so powerful. So I started playing bingo to stay awake and stay conscious over the holidays. And I practiced. And then when it got to go time, like I went unconscious. And I was beating myself up about it for like several days. I was like totally ashamed of myself and going through the motions of all that crap. And I just decided that not getting it right and not doing it right was my imperfection practice. And I had perfected that perfectly. So I then went back and gave myself all of the stickers that I was too afraid to give myself at the time. And by going back and doing that, and by doing math, I figured that I had actually earned my bingo prize that I had been working towards. And she's going to be here by Friday.
Do you mind sharing what it is?
Oh, sure. I bought myself an Ernie Ball Stingray special bass because I'm an advanced bitch who is going to grow up and be a rock star one day.
I wanted to play bass because I am also obviously an elder, and I don't know if any of the, oh, why do I do this to myself? But remember that song called Boogie Oogie Oogie? There's these two women, and one of them's playing bass. Don't 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 don't. MJ, please learn that and play it for me.
Oh, I totally will. It can be the theme song to our bingo classes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What a fucking badass. Holy, yes, you absolutely did. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
I did it because you invented advanced bitches bingo and you taught me the way.
I'm gonna cry. Oh, it's just yes, I take that into my heart. Thank you. Love you so much. Angela, hey.
Oh, hi. First, I just want to say this class is amazing. I haven't been in one of your classes in a little while, and I feel like so connected right now with other fellow like CPTSD kids. It's making me emotional. Feels like the way that I feel a lot of times when I'm in like my ACA meetings, but like on another level of magic. So anyway, I wanted to add because I wanted to add a comment because I've been doing like the bingo over the past year off and on. And I wanted to just like speak to something that I experienced and why I had to take a break, and now I'm back at it. Because doing this practice in combination with some therapy work I was doing actually put me in touch with a lot of grief around the kind of validation and praise, because this is like, I see it as like praise work. And it put me in touch with a lot of the validation and praise that I was supposed to have gotten my entire life. You know, like the stickers. That's why it's hard to give yourself stickers. It's hard to give yourself the rewards, because sometimes it can put me in touch with like, oh, this is like how children should be treated, period, you know. And also sometimes whenever I have a hard time giving myself a sticker, I ask myself, is this something that I would give a little kid a high five for, or a hug for, or a kiss for? And if the answer is yes, and most of the time it's yes, then I give myself a sticker for that. Like if you would give a kid a high five for brushing their teeth, then we deserve a sticker for brushing our teeth, you know? So I just wanted to add that because there was a time that I had to like step away from the practice to like process that. And now I'm coming back to it as my self-esteem is getting higher. But I just wanted to speak to that for anybody in the class that's like experiencing that resistance, that there might be more to it. So anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love you so much.
I
Thank
love you so much. That's incredible. That's so beautiful. And I love that we have a place where we could talk about that. And then we also can get a sticker for that. You know what I mean? Like a sticker just for like acknowledging that and understanding that. And I really, you know, our inner saboteur will want to have ourselves beat ourselves up for when we need a break. I did the same thing. Like I've noted, I mean, I didn't feel like a hypocrite, but I taught bingo classes all of Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year, and I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing, and I was playing in my mind or whatever. But it had what I didn't understand at the time, and I'm just having a new insight now that you said that. But what I didn't realize at the time was it had needed to evolve for me in a different way, and I hadn't done the work to figure out what that was, and so I kind of dropped it. Again, a lot of the stuff I do in my mind now, but it is
Yeah.
more helpful to me. I mean, I've already noticed a change in just the short time I've done it. I just started in January again. But I do think this is just
Yeah, more things become revealed about why the psyche is doing what it's doing, and that's why it's so like powerful. And somebody in the chat earlier said getting a sticker for wondering if you should get a sticker, and I don't know who that was. I want to give them credit, but that was like, I was like, oh my God, I need to start doing that too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, if you think you might need a sticker for it and you're on like, then that means you get a sticker. So that's your clue. So that's just the rule. From now on, if it's like, I wonder if I should get a, and then don't even finish the sentence, it's like, oh yeah. The answer is yes. But I do, okay, so a lot of like my therapist of 20 plus years retired, and she sent me like receipts for my insurance or whatever, and it's like her handwriting coming in the mail, like but I think, and I noticed, in addition to not doing my bingo, I was also not doing my journaling or my collaging or whatever, the other stuff that I do, and I realized that it's I've been really mad at her. and so if I'm not doing my work, I don't have to feel my feelings about how I'm really mad at her. And or at least that younger part of me is mad at her. Or just mad at life or whatever. And so I can tell like that's going to be my work coming up, but it's back, and this is a good way in to yeah. So
Yes, totally.
again, what you're saying is things can be revealed just by watching how we do it or don't do it.
Yes, totally. Yeah, that's exactly it. I love you. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. You honor us. Everyone everyone who spoke, you honor us. Everyone who didn't speak, you honor us. Thank you for being here. We feel your support. We, yeah. So again, if you are interested in, this is kind of what it feels like to be in the membership thingy. So not a salesperson. This is a taste of what it's like. It's been pretty great. And I'm just looking forward to more of this kind of connection. It's been wonderful. So anyway, so now you know how to play bingo, and this is going to go on YouTube. So I'll say just in the description below, you can find all the links to all the things that I mentioned. Thank you, Lily. All the things that I mentioned in this class regarding bingo. And yes, the print book's coming out. You're the first to know. It's coming out soon. It's just got uploaded to Amazon. And so Amazon's saying, change these things. And I'm like, okay. So I'll let everybody know when that comes out, if you're interested. And yeah, that's it. So thank you all so much for being here. It's been a pleasure. You are already subscribed to the newsletter because that's how you got to be here. So I will see you. I'll have a little magical lesson and assignment for you on Wednesday, and that's how you always know what the latest thing. So don't worry about not knowing when the new thing is going to happen or what. You'll get everything that you need. Thank you all so much. I love you. Have a good rest of the day. And so many stickers for this class. Okay. Love you. Bye.